Bethesda seems to be working on a new DLC focused on science and aliens, possibly coming in early 2022. Here's everything I discovered so far. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. For this one, I have a mix of news with content preview, because what I have to show you is, first of all, very recent and hardly explored so far, and secondly, it's about upcoming new content, most of it related to science, space, and aliens, which makes me believe Bethesda is really working on a new themed DLC for 2022. But before we jump into concrete facts, I want to leave a spoiler alert. I'm not exactly going to give away major spoilers like mission stages or event lore, but it's hard to talk about new content without at least covering some minor spoilers. So be aware of that, watch at your own risk. Moreover, I want to thank the data miner Madocrot for digging up crucial data present in parts of this video. With that being said, let's get scientific here, literally. It's no surprise for anyone at this point about how Bethesda is planning an alien invasion conducted by the Zetan's faction or species. The wasteland will never be the same again after such event. Now, note that the early version of the content roadmap for 2021 included a new event dedicated to these aliens. The event was supposed to be called Invaders from Beyond, and it was scheduled to go live this winter, but sadly things didn't go as planned, and it got delayed to 2022 with the latest version of this roadmap, together with the 4 stars legendary system and pets. Now, what you probably don't know yet is that recently, with patch 32 live on the PTS public test servers, there's a lot more new content related to science and aliens in the files. And that's exactly what I will be uncovering in this video. So far, I discovered 23 new activities related to either science, aliens, or both. And all these new activities are not part of old files. No. They are new, as in they were added with patch 32 in these past weeks. I actually compared patch 31 versus patch 32 in the ASM files, so that's how I know it. Moving forward, among these 23 new activities, there are 6 new missions, 1 new event, and 16 new random encounters. Most of it seems to be in early stages of development though, so this might be just the beginning of something huge. Again, all of these activities are related to science one way or the other, so it really can't be a coincidence, right? In my view, this can only mean one thing, and one thing only. Bethesda is opening a new chapter for 76 in 2022, a very scientific one, as you are about to find out, starting with the new missions. Until this date, there are 6 new missions added to the game files of Update 32. They are obviously not live for testing yet, since, well, they are just basic quest drafts, pretty much. The development for most of them is in a very early stage, and by early stage, I'm talking about mission names, generic objectives or stages, hardly any dialogues, no NPC models, or any sort of visual assets, textures, or anything substantial. It's mostly just code right now with very basic information. As obvious, some missions are more developed than others, some of them hardly even have objectives yet, but as I stated in the intro, I don't want to uncover major spoilers anyway, so that's fine by me. I mean, it's senseless to spoil all the details of a mission before it's even completed, right? So let me give you a general overview. Let's start with the names. We have 1, a friend in need, 2, a sweet dream for Bob, 3, a 1000-watt jolt, 4, escape the room, 5, for science, and finally 6, problems in pentameter. Just as a curiosity though, for science is the most developed mission from the list right now. It has lots of stages, dialogues, player dialogue options even, objectives, and even quest items. The main mission file has over 50 references already, as you can see. It looks pretty much polished already. However, the rest of the missions are nowhere as developed. Now, some of these missions might not sound like science material at all, just by name, but they are linked and relate to science topics. I spent hours reading the files, and there is definitely a logic sequence here. They are not isolated random missions, that's for sure. Plus, it's no coincidence these missions feature all sorts of science and tech items, research data, interceptors, sensors, invisible doors, puzzles, and so on. Actually, I discovered two connections for all these missions, the keywords Zachariades and V. Harbison. Both keywords can be found in the main mission file names and all over the sub-entries for these same missions, such as new mission items, terminals, holotapes, messages, NPCs, and many other things, as you can see. At first, I thought these keywords could be related to the upcoming questline or DLC names, but then I noticed these new test cells popping up for the keywords, and both of them have first names, and I noticed a specific one, which happens to be the same name for a recent Bethesda's hire a few months ago. So I went ahead and asked Inspector Google about these names, and bingo, the keywords are developer names. Stephanie Zachariades and Veronica Harbison are quest designers working for Bethesda. So yeah, these keywords are just there for internal organizational purposes, I suppose. Sadly, they have nothing to do with the upcoming content, well, at least not directly. They are just there to make things easier to track for the developer team. Alright, mystery solved. Now let's move on to the new event, which is all about aliens, and there's tons of information already. The new science missions are just one part of the supposedly new DLC coming in 2022. There's also a brand new event, which should be familiar to you since it was previously announced during 2021 through the content roadmap. Yes, I'm talking about the now delayed Invaders from Beyond. This new public event is pretty much done according to the game files. It's a rather complex event with different stages and objectives. Also, it's a dynamic one. What does this mean though? Well, it means there is no fixed location for this event. There's really a lot of data. I could make a video just about the Invaders event, but without wanting to spoil you too much, here are the essentials. According to the data miner Madocrot, this event has 6 possible spawn locations, 1 in each region. So when the event activates, it could spawn randomly across any of these locations, such as the Charleston Capitol building, Dyer's Chemical, or even the water park. The event starts with an UFO arriving to the wasteland, so I'm pretty sure this activity takes place in the open world, maybe even on the roof of certain buildings for some locations. I highly doubt the event will happen inside of cells in instances. Now, some of the event objectives include killing Zetans or even working around a probe, which looks like an encrypted pylon right now. It might just be a placeholder asset though, I'm not sure yet. Apparently there's plenty of broadcast messages as well, one for each stage and different outcomes within the event. There are also lots of dialogues, so I'm guessing Bethesda is adding context lore here about the event and possibly about Zetans and why are they invading the wasteland. That's what makes the most sense, just like they did recently with the Mothman Equinox seasonal event. The Invaders from Beyond will also trigger a weather change. The event will always run with a Nuka Quantum Storm weather setting, so welcome the purple rays and a lot of rain. As for Zetans, you should expect all sorts of aliens really. There's even a boss and 2 mini-bosses attached to the event. They have ranks and names too. Welcome the Cosmic Colonel, the Galactic General, and the Moon Major. The Zetan enemies should also come with some new skills and abilities, such as the teleport explosion with electrical shocks. Ouch, that must hurt. Anyway, there are no visuals for the new named enemies yet. The normal Zetan enemies are attached to the existing Zetan model, so it's not clear if Bethesda will make a new improved version or if they will just modify the existing model we have already, which looks like this. Anyway, as polished as the event might appear, it's definitely not finished yet. therefore why it got delayed to 2022. There's no event banners or start animation either, for example. Moreover, the rewards list is not complete, far from it. It's still very, very empty. There are only 2 unique rewards so far, an unknown beer stain and the cryogenic bed, a delayed reward from the Brotherhood of Steel DLCs. It's an old, new reward, let's put it that way. Lastly, there's lots of new cinematic music for the Invaders event. I have been playing it so far as background music, and I will continue to do so for the rest of the video. There's even 4 minutes tracks, which I'm fairly sure it will be used for the new main menu music. Why does Bethesda need so much new music though? Well, I would risk to say some of that will be used for the new missions and the new event too. Otherwise, I have no idea. We are talking about 20 minutes of brand new music, so make your own conclusions. Anyhow, things are looking promising. This will be the 4th public event featuring a world boss, and that's exactly the type of content 76 needs, in my view. The kind of event that brings players together in epic fights with unique rewards. I hope that Cosmic Colonel boss will put up a fight like the Queen or the Earl. That would be absolutely fantastic, especially if we get exciting new rewards as well. Don't you think so? Now, let's go over the new random encounters. There's at least 16 right now, last I checked. Bethesda really went wild here because they added new entries for every category of random encounters. So you can expect all sorts of things, like new scenes, objects, NPCs, new dialogues, different outcomes, and so on. The best part is that the 16 new encounters are all about aliens and space conspiracy stuff. Most of the new encounters have explicit titles, so you can somewhat guess what is it about, such as the assault encounters Zetans versus Appalachia. Obviously, the Zetans will fight some wasteland enemy faction. The Flatwoods Monster Patrol is also pretty obvious about what it is, but not every encounter is that straightforward, sadly. I mean, Zetan's sandbox could be basically anything, right? There's also a Horner's Quest, whatever that means. I hope it's a new mini quest or something alike, maybe even a puzzle, something interesting. Then we have all sorts of mystery encounters and sort of Easter egg references as well, like a Man in Black, a conspiracy theorist, even a monkey mind probing, a flaming Brahmin, and a Zetan party crusher. Well, the latest two really sound funny. I hope they live up to the expectations. It seems like the next DLC will encourage players to explore the wasteland once again in hopes to find brand new outer world experiences. In the literal sense, I'm surely going to do that. I love exploring, and new encounters is all I need to make myself explore again. Alright, so with at least 6 new missions on the way, where will they take place? Will Bethesda create new locations or new instances? Maybe, perhaps. Right now, none of the missions is attached to any location, so it's difficult to tell exactly. However, I noticed something interesting. With patch 32, Bethesda changed at least 2 existing locations, which may or may not be a hint for what's about to come. The best part is that both locations are related to science and research in general, which makes me even more suspicious about their potential involvement with the new missions. First of all, we have Dome 08 at the Black Mountain Ordnance Works. This dome has been closed since the release days, pretty much, but that could change in 2022. I compared the live servers with patch 31 and then the PTS with patch 32, and I found out something very interesting. First of all, the front door has a different interaction, while with patch 31 the door shows as inaccessible, the same interaction as always. With patch 32, that is simply gone. There is no more interaction words when you hover over the door, which is a strong indicator this door is about to change. It will either be always open or they are changing the door into something else. Furthermore, I also discovered Bethesda cleaned up the interior of this dome. I used photo mode to check inside, and as shown in the live servers, it has plenty of boxes and lots of junk scattered around the floor. However, with patch 32, the boxes are gone, as well as most junk. There's some left, yes, but it's now down to a few items. There's also a carpet placed at the entrance. Now, you may be wondering what's the purpose of this cleanup. Well, I would say devs are preparing this dome for some harsh renovation. They either intend to open the dome later or they will make an instant interest out of it. And I really think this will become a location for one of the upcoming 6 missions. Moving forward, there is a second location that got changed with Update 32, the EVR Medical Center. Bethesda renovated the top of the roof for some bizarre reason. Until Update 31, the roof has always been empty. It's just a roof with nothing going on there. However, with Update 32, this part of the roof is very different. They added a cooking station, a bed, chairs, teddy bears, and other items as shown. There's also the remains of a couple who apparently died together before the nukes fell down, while dwelling if they should quit alcohol or not. There are lots of empty alcohol bottles around and 2 addictols on the floor, so that's why I'm assuming that's what happened here. That's besides the point. The point is exactly that the roof got changed and we are all wondering why. Anyway, the interior of the EVR seems to be the same as before, but in the game files there appears to be a lot of changed stuff, so who knows? Maybe these changes are not yet enabled and that's why I cannot compare anything. But I highly suspect this location will also host some of the upcoming missions. I mean, it's a perfect match. It's a medical center and the new missions are all about science and stuff like that, so it's like 1 + 1 for me. I could be wrong though, it could all just be a coincidence, but why else would Bethesda add a new roof for a building with hardly any purpose after 3 years? Anyway, only time will provide the answers here, so let's keep moving. There seems to be a lot of new content on the way, and I bet you were also wondering, when is it getting released? Well, don't get too excited just yet, because it will surely take a while, and by a while, I mean several months. While the Invaders event seems to be pretty much complete, the new science missions are in a very early stage of development. So if all of this is indeed planned for the next DLC, I can only imagine it will take some 3 to 6 months to hit the official servers. Development in 76 is normally a struggle because major bugs with difficult solutions appear very often, and that has consequences, where delays are at the top of the list. Also, don't forget that major new features are being tested first on the public test servers, which normally run for around 1 month per test phase. As such, I would expect this new content to get released in late Q1 or even Q2 of 2022. But you know, this is just me speculating based on what we know so far and based on past experiences too. So don't take it as rock solid info, it's really not like that. But maybe I'm not too far off. Let's see. For 2022, there's plenty of exciting new things on the way, such as the expedition system, 4 stars legendaries, and let's not forget about safe trade or pets. But now we have one more item on the list, it seems like. No more, no less than a science space DLC with an unknown name right now, which should bring at least 23 new activities as I explored in this video. Hopefully it will be part of the next content roadmap. Anyway, a new chapter is coming to 76 in 2022. The Zetan era is approaching, and that's really a good sign. It means Bethesda has big plans for 76 for the upcoming era already, despite all the recent controversies. Anyhow, with the Brotherhood of Steel expansions now part of the past, it's time to move forward to explore new factions, new lore, and why not dive into scientific matters. The Fallout universe is deeply linked with science, progress, and tech in general, plus it's not like aliens are a strange thing, they exist in other Fallout games already, so it does make sense, it all makes sense. It's a pretty good team choice if you ask me. Now expect a lot more science things to emerge in the following months, especially rewards, because the new missions and even the Invaders event are pretty empty when it comes to unique rewards. And as per usual, the new seasons will most likely be linked to this new content, so expect even more science, space, alien stuff. My goodness, so much science going on here. Anyway, that's it for this video. It was a pretty long one, I know, but you would be surprised if you knew how much stuff I actually cut out. There's really a lot of new content on the way. Let's just hope it doesn't end up as cut unreleased one. Alright, and that's it. Don't forget my Halloween screenshot contest is still live until October 31. Participate for a chance to win awesome prizes. The link to join my Discord is right below the video. Hurry up, the time is almost up. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to leave a like, comment below, and subscribe for more. As for me, I am Marta Branco, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care, adios, bye bye!